Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of world news on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Sun TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Super Cap, safe, convenient and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Unlock seamless 24/7 financial transaction, easy loans and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Markets. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 24/7 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSoft. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking product and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 24/7. Ascend to the future. Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life.
State Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya continues his tradition of stakeholders' engagement with Ramadan Iftar gathering at the government house. NNPC Limited dismissed report of an explosion at the Port Harcourt refinery, clarifying it was a routine flare release. UNDP and Kaduna state governments collaborate to combat insecurity and fast-track development in northwest Nigeria. On the international scene, Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky conclude a crucial phone conversation. In business news, NEITI reports FFAC disbursed a record of 15.26 trillion naira to federal, state and local governments in 2024, reflecting a 43% increase from previous years. From the sport decks, Rangers International triumph over Kano Pillars in the round of 64 of the 2025 Presidential Federation Cup, avenging last year's defeat. My name is Bridget James. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas as the sole administrator of Rivers State. The ceremony took place at the presidential villa on Wednesday at approximately 3 p.m. with key government officials in attendance, including the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, son, and the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. Following his inauguration, Mr. Ibas emphasized his commitment to restoring law and order in Rivers State, stating that stability is essential for any meaningful progress. His appointment follows President Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, citing prolonged political unrest. The president also suspended Governor Similalayi Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, and members of the State House of Assembly under Section 305 of the Constitution. Attorney General of the Federation, AGF Lateef Fagbemi, has described President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State as a timely and necessary intervention to restore stability. Fagbemi has sparked mixed reaction across the country in the follow-up to the emergency rule. President Tinubu met with the newly appointed sole administrator of Rivers State at the State House, signaling the federal government's resolve to address the situation. The development raises concerns about its border manipulation for governors and democratic presence in the state. Meanwhile, the Rivers State House of Assembly has endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appointment of a sole administrator following the declaration of a state of emergency in the state. The lawmakers attributed the development to Governor Siminalayi Fubara's alleged failure to the government's constitutionality, citing his disregard for court rulings and obstruction of legislative functions. In a statement, Speaker Martins Amewule acknowledged that while the decision was not ideal, the Assembly will support the sole administration in the interest of stability. He urged residents to remain calm and cooperative with the new constitutionality. The Nigerian Bar Association and opposition figures, Governor, through executive flat undermines democratic principles as uncertain. The president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Fam Sigbe, actors involved speaking at the news conference in Abuja. He stated that the impasse could have been resolved in the politician dismissed claims that the Supreme Court was to be blamed, emphasizing that, according to him, the conflicts escalated into a context to dominance rather than a commitment to governance and security. Gombe State Governor Alhaji Mahmudu Inuwa Yaya has upheld his practice of fostering stakeholders' engagement house since their commencement on March 7. These events have served as a crucial forum leaders, political appointees, and media professionals. Through this inclusive governance infrastructural advancement and its social welfare, Some TV from Gombe correspondent Kamal Hamajo files in the report.
Tragedy struck Kuroliman Maunde, New GRA in Gombe, as a devastating fire engulfed 3 houses, leaving families in distress amid the ongoing economic hardship and rising food price during this year's fasting season. The incident occurred at approximately 1:45 p.m. Nigerian time.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, has refuted claims of an explosion at the Port Harcourt refinery, clarifying that the incident was a routine flare release. Video circulating on social media had suggested a fire outbreak, but resources within the refinery stacked. A standard safety mechanism used to burn off excess gases assured that there was no fire, explosion, or risks to staff, nearby communities, or the environment. The company urged the public and media to disregard false reports. Lawmaker Joshua Joro Agir, who is representing Wukari II at the State House of Assembly, has assured the people of Nsokundi that the electrification project in the area will be completed soon, despite initial delays due to funding challenges. Agia, who represents Wukari II at the Taraba State House of Assembly, gave them assurance during the project inspection. Initially scheduled for completion in December 2024, is now expected to be finished by May this year, pending the release of funds. Agia has pledged to engage relevant authority to facilitate funding and ensure timely completion. A tragic fire outbreak in outskirts of New GRA, Gombe, has left 3 families homeless after their houses were completely destroyed. The fire, which also affected nearby homes, comes at a time when many Nigerians are already struggling with economic hardship and rising food prices during the fasting season. Some TV correspondent Kamal Hamajo visited the scene and now reports.
Tragedy struck Kuroliman Maunde, New GRA in Gombe, as a devastating fire engulfed 3 houses, leaving families in distress amid the ongoing economic hardship and rising food price during this year's fasting season. The incident occurred at approximately 1:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Eyewitnesses report that the fire started in one house before rapidly spreading to the neighboring homes, reducing all 3 to ashes. The fire did not stop there. It also affected several nearby houses, causing varied degrees of damage before firefighters managed to bring it under control. Malama Sakina, a victim who was among the first to witness the fire, recounted the terrifying moment she saw the flame. She also made the heartfelt appeal to the government and well-meaning individuals to assist the affected families.
I was doing house chores when my little sister ran to me, shouting that there was a fire in our room. When I saw it, I cried for help, but by the time people arrived, the fire had already spread and was burning intensely. I am appealing to the government and well-meaning individuals to please come to our aid. We are already struggling with economic hardship, and this disaster will make things even worse.
Among those who lost their homes is Mr. Yakubu, a retired medical practitioner. He described how he first heard about the fire and rushed back, only to find his house consumed by the flames.
I was in the house doing my supplications, and one of my neighbors started calling to me that you should please come, hurry and come to your house is on fire. So actually, I cannot predict what is the source of the fire. I was just told by my neighbor. So before I arrived, the fire had engulfed all the rooms, especially the inner one that is surrounded. So there was so much things inside. When I came there, the fire had already been control. So this is an unforeseen circumstances, and it can happen to anybody. So we are going to so it's very unfortunate. This is the time of that is the time the people.
Another victim, Engineer Jibril, shares that he was at work when he received a distressing call about the fire. He immediately contacted the fire service, but by the time he arrived home, his house and 2 others had already been destroyed. Firefighters, however, managed to prevent the fire from spreading further into neighborhood. The third victim, devastated by the loss, was too grief-stricken to speak on camera, struggling to come to terms with the tragedy. Many other affected individuals were also in tears, uncertain about how they will recover from this misfortune. From Gombe, Kamal Hamajo reporting for Some TV.
The United Nations Development Programme and the Kaduna State government has partnered to address insecurity and accelerate development in northwest Nigeria. Governor Uba Sani received a UNDP delegation led by journalist and UN consultant Kadaria Ahmed and the agency's Northwest head. Ashraf Usman at the government house, discussion focused on the Northwest Peace Security Development Framework, an initiative aimed at stabilizing the region, fostering economic growth, and tackling the root causes of conflict. Governor Sani described the framework as timely and strategic, emphasizing its importance in addressing the existential security threats facing the state. He highlighted Kaduna's commitment to the initiative, citing the Kaduna Peace Model, which has helped restore stability in conflict-prone areas like Birnin Quarry, Giwa, and Kauru. The state government, he noted, has intensified citizens' engagements, expanded social intervention program, and launched a rural transformation programs. To revitalize local economic through infrastructure and job creation, the UNDP delegations commended Kaduna's proactive approach and pledged support to scale up interventions that will improve security and development across the state. The Taraba Youth Roundtable has launched a bold advocacy for decency and discipline with a newly unveiled billboard at Taraba State Polytechnic. The initiative aimed to curb social vices such as drug abuse, cultism, and exam malpractice, while promoting moral responsibility among students, with government endorsements and plans to expand the campaign across the state. The message is clear: uphold decency, reject social vices, and build a better future. The Aliko Dangote Foundation has begun distributing 80,000 10-kilogram bags of rice to vulnerable individuals in Lagos State. This initiative is part of the foundation's plan to distribute over 1 million 10-kilogram bags of rice to reach 1 million vulnerable people across Nigeria, 774 local government areas. According to Aliko Dangote, the distributions of the rice is a demonstration of the foundation commitment. to upholding values, compassion, and solidarity. The initiative aimed to alleviate some of the burdens faced by vulnerable communities in Lagos State. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu commended Dangote's efforts, stating that the gesture shows the foundation prioritized the welfare of the people over profits. Sanwo-Olu encouraged other wealthy Nigerians to emulate Dangote's philanthropic efforts. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has directed the 4 emirates in the state to commence preparation for the Salah Durbar celebration to ensure a smooth and festive experience for residents and visitors. He also announced that the Kano State Emirates Council will be inaugurated in April to enhance its functionality. The governor issued the directive during a Ramadan breakfast. Meeting with emirs at the government house in Kano, he emphasized the cultural significance of the Durbar, reassuring citizens that his administration remains committed to preserving their traditions. He also assured the public of adequate security during the celebration. Yusuf highlighted that the council's guidelines ethics will be unveiled at the inaugurations. He commended the emir for fostering unity and respect among themselves, noting this an unprecedented in the state history. Chairman of the Emir Council, Muhammadu Sanusi II, reaffirmed the cordial relationship among the emir and urged the government to leverage traditional institutions for grassroots. The Emir of Karaya, Reno, and Gaya expressed gratitude to the governor for infrastructure development and agricultural support in the regions. The House of Representatives has passed the 4 tax reform bills introduced by the executive arm of government last October, marking a significant step towards reshaping Nigeria's taxation system. The bill, which faced strong opposition from northern leaders, the Nigerian Governors Forum, and other stakeholders, were subjected to extensive review before their approval during plenary. House Leader Julius Nhobere led the final push for passage, highlighting key aspects of the bill. This includes provisions for assessing and collecting revenue across all levels of government, the replacement of the Federal Inland Revenue Service with the Nigerian Revenue Service, and the establishment of a joint revenue board, Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Obudo to resolve taxation disputes. Additionally, one of the bills seeks to repeal and consolidate existing tax laws under a unified Nigerian Tax Act. The Taraba State Command of the Vigilante Group of Nigeria has successfully rescued 3 abducted victims from a kidnapper's hideout in Etsay, Kachala, along Minda Road in Lau local government area. The victim, identified as Alhaji Umaru Abdullahi, 50, Idi Bello, 24, and Abubakar Adamu, 45, were freed after the vigilantes engaged the kidnappers in a gun battle, forcing them to flee. Speaking in Jalingo, a VGN leader recounted how the operatives stormed the hideout, overpowering the criminal and securing the victim's release. The group called on the government to provide logistical support to enhance their effort in combating crimes. The rescued individuals shared harrowing accounts of their ordeal, describing how they were blindfolded, denied, and subjected to brutal treatment by their captors. The operation followed a deadly attack on Yelwa community on March 15th, where 2 people were killed and 3 others abducted. Vigilant Operations Commander Munuri Bello Abubakar confirmed the incident, warning that kidnappers rely on informants within communities to evade security forces. The Nigerian Air Force has carried out a precision night air strike on Boko Haram hideout in Chikiga and Dagbewa, Borno State, targeting insurgents including a notorious leader, Ali Ngulde. The operation, based on intelligence and surveillance, destroyed key logistic hubs that command centers in a related development. The Nigerian police force arrested 3 suspects in Yobe State for transporting 30 cartons of codeine and other hard drugs intended for insurgents and bandits. Another suspect, a 30-year-old woman, was intercepted smuggling 124 rounds of live ammunition concealed in a palm oil container. Additionally, 2 suspects were caught with 10 AK-47 rifles, confessing to their involvement in illegal armed trade. The police reiterated their commitment to disrupting criminal network and enhancing national security. Troops engage armed bandits in a fire-gun battles near Mada, Gusau local government of Zamfara State, after the attackers attempted to advance on the community. Late Monday night, security forces intercepted the assailants, leading to an intense exchange of gunfire in the eastern part of Mada. The situation remained tense as troops work to repel the attackers. In a related operation, security forces under Operation Fansan Yama neutralized a suspected bandit, collaborator Dama Damdam Boyi, in Safe local government area. Dama, a former security guard who allegedly aligned with Fulani armed groups, was intercepted with suspected bandits on March 17th. While armed men fled the motorcycles, he was shot and killed. Authorities believed he had been adding criminal elements in the region. The Abiakutu North local government's area in Ogun State has launched a comprehensive initiative to tackle open defecation, a growing public health concern in the area. The council chairman, Mr. Lanre Oyegbola Sadipo, announced that the administration is implementing strict measures, including the deployment of mobile toilets and the establishment of safety and environmental marshal to enforce sanitation laws, citing a UNICEF report that identifies the local government as one of the worst affected in the state. Oyegbola Sadipo warns that failure to act could pose serious health risks to residents as part of the new regulations. Individuals hosting social events within the local government must provide mobile toilets for their guests. Event organizers who fail to comply risk persecutions, and their gathering may be shut down. The administration has also introduced reform to improve revenue collections, addressing financial leakages that previously weakened the local government finances. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has launched the distribution of 30,000 bags of rice to support vulnerable residents as part of the Dangote Foundation nationwide food relief initiative. The program, which aimed to distribute 1 million 10-kilogram bags of rice across selected states in Nigeria, is designed to alleviate food insecurity amid economic challenges. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony in Lafia, Governor Sule emphasized that the rice distribution targets various groups, including religious organizations, such as the Jamaatul Nasir Islam, JIBWISE, the Christian Association of Nigeria, and its Women Wing. Other beneficiaries include members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists and security agencies, each receiving over 3,000 bags. Local government areas in the state has been allocated rice packages with mechanism put in place to ensure equitable distribution across the 147 electoral wards. The governor assured that transparency and accountability will guide the process to ensure the rice reaches those most in need. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Person has recorded 37 cases of human trafficking in Bauchi State. According to the agency head of operations, Abdurrahman Abdullahi, a recent media engagement highlighted the importance of domesticating the enforcing trafficking in person. In February 2025, Natib secured a conviction against a trafficker, resulting in a 5-year prison sentence. And Abdullahi emphasized that the judgments align with the agency's amended law and reiterated Natib's commitment to grassroots awareness campaign to combat human trafficking effectively. The Abia State government has demolished a building in Osisioma local government area that was being used as a kidnapper's hideout, warning landlords against renting properties without conducive proper background check on. Commissioner for Information, Prince OK Kanu, emphasized the importance of due diligence by landlords to prevent criminals from using their properties. Governor Alex Oti reaffirms his administration's zero tolerance for criminal hideouts, ordering the complete demolition of the building and vowing to prosecute the owner. He stressed that any landlord who accommodates criminals would be held accountable. The crackdown follows a recent police operations that led to the neutralization of 6 suspected kidnappers, the rescue of 4 victims, and the recovery of weapons, including AK-47 rifles, magazines, and live ammunition. The government has urged residents to remain vigilant, monitor their surroundings, and report any suspicious activity to security agencies. The Katsina State Enterprise Development Agency, in partnership with Sterling Bank, has disbursed loans to an additional 245 business owners, bringing the total beneficiaries to 449 under the MSME's loan initiative. Hawa Ibrahim Jinkamshi, head of KASEDA's Republic Relations Unit, reaffirms the agency's commitment to supporting small business and directed beneficiaries to visit Sterling Bank, Katsina branch, to finalize the disbursement. On behalf of the Governor, Diko Umaru Rada, Kasida's Director General, Hajia Aisha Aminu, congratulated the recipients, emphasizing that the initiative aligned with the state's goal of fostering entrepreneurship, jobs, creation, and economic growth. Beneficiaries were encouraged to seek further assistance through Kasida's official channel. Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers has renovated Government Day Secondary School in Akwamba, Cross River State, as part of its corporate social responsibility initiative. The project aimed at improving learning conditions for 850 students and 40 staff members, including revolutioning 3 classrooms, blocks, upgrading toilet facilities, providing new classrooms, furniture, and installing a reliable water supply system. Chief Executive Officer Olumide Oyetan emphasized the company's commitment to investing in education, stating that revitalizing the school not only addressing immediate infrastructural challenges, but also foster long-term community development. The initiative reflects Stanbic ITBC broader efforts to enhance educational opportunities and inspire further investment in youth development. The Nigerian Medical Association Kogi State Branch has commended the federal government for granting a waiver for Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, allowing it to employ new medical staffs. In a statement signed by its chairman, Dr. Hassan Abubakar, the NMA pressed the decision as a crucial step towards addressing staff shortages and improving healthcare services. Meanwhile, authorities in Kogi have called for assistance following severe rainstorm that damaged Federal Government Girls College, Kaba, causing significant infrastructure loss. In a separate development, tributes continue to pour in for the late Queen Mary Igbe Owuni, with political figures and community groups extending condolences to the Obara of Kaba. Elsewhere, concern over public safety and governance persists with discussion on Nigeria's constitutional provision for a state of emergency gaining traction. Additionally, debates on religious integrity have resurfaced as critics highlight the commercializations of prophecy and its impact on spiritual credibility. Former local government chairmen in Osun State have refuted claims of endorsing any candidate for the All Progressive Congress governorship ticket in 2026 elections. Instead, they reaffirmed their support for Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, as their preferred choice. Speaking on behalf of the group, former Boluwaduro Council Chairman Akim Tokidi stated that if Oyetola declines to contest, the ticket should be zoned to the Osun West Senatorial District. For equity, he emphasized that while they have not anointed any aspirants, the affects leaders including Chief Bisi Akinde and Senator Ajibola Basiru to oversee a fair selection process. Tokwe also addressed reports that the ex-chairman has backed the specific chieftains, clarifying that they have no official role in selecting the party's candidates and are committed to the collective interest of the APC rather than individual ambition. He stressed their dedication to reclaiming the state from the current administration, which they accused of mismanaging resources. Operatives of the Adamawa State Police Command, in collaboration with local hunters, have rescued a 60-year-old kidnapped victim, Babawuro Abdullahi, from his captors in Dikiri Hills, Dumei, Song local government area. Acting on credible intelligence, the security team launched a coordinated raid on the kidnappers' hideout, engaging them in a first-gun battle. The victim, who had spent 17 days in captivity, was rescued on the arm, while a single-barrel gun was recovered from the scene. Although the suspect managed to escape with gunshot wounds, efforts are on the way to track and apprehend them. The anti-kidnapping unit has taken over the cases for further investigations, with no casualties recorded on the site of the operatives. The Ike Ediome Foundation has donated 2 hand-pumped boreholes each for Fakawa and Renewal communities in Regime local government area of Jigawa State as part of efforts to improve access to clean water. The donation, aligned with World Water Day celebrations, aims to support the government's initiative in providing potable water to underserved areas. Speaking at the handover ceremony, the Foundation Director of Program, Ms. Susie Agas, emphasized the importance of clean water for public health and economic development, stressing that the government alone cannot address the challenges. She noted that the community is primarily consistent of farmers, herders, and traders struggling with water shortage that affect the livelihoods. Community leaders and government officials pressed the intervention with the district head of Sankara, Alhaji Yusi Ahmed, urging residents to maintain the borehole properly. The chairman of Regime Local Government, Mr. Badamasi Dabi, reaffirms the council commitment to supporting NGOs in community development efforts. Mrs. Jamila Sadiq, speaking on behalf of women in the community, highlights the importance of the donation, noting that children will no longer have to travel long distance to fetch water, which often cause delays in their schooling. In addition to the boreholes, the foundation donated 100 bags of 5 kg rice to the communities, further supporting their well-being. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has officially withdrawn the appointment of 2 resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio read Tinubu's letter announcing the reversal. The affected regs are Mohammed Ngoshe, Borno State, and Wede Eli, Bayelsa State. While Ngoshe had previously been appointed, the president has now reappointed Umar Mukhtar as Borno's reg similarly. Johnson Sileki has replaced Eli as the new reg for Bayelsa. The letter stated the reversal was made under Section 154(1) of Nigerian Constitution and supersedes Tinubu's earlier communications from March 12, 2025. Other appointees, including Umar Yusuf Garba Kano, Sahat Umar Bauchi, and Chukwemeka C. Ibezieko Anambra, retained their positions. Tinubu urges the Senate to confirm the new nominees swiftly. Tension grips Akure, the Ondo State capital, as farmers protested the killing of 5 people by suspected herdsmen in Aba Oyibo community, Akure North local government area. The attack, which occurred in the early hours of Wednesday in the latest series of violent incidents, coming just 2 weeks after 14 people were reportedly murdered in 4 other communities within the same local government. Angry protesters stormed the governor's office, chanting solidarity song and demanding urgent intervention from the governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, to halt the president's attack on farmers. One of the protesters, identified simply as Jonah, described the increasing spate of killings, alleging that the attack infiltrated the state through Edo. He lamented that farmers were being slaughtered without meaningful actions from authorities and called on security agencies, including the police, army, and Amotekun, to intervene before more lives are lost. The escalating insecurity in the area has raised concerns about the safety of rural communities and the impact on agriculture. A key sector in the state, the situation has also reignited discussions on the need to ban open grazing as a strategy to curb violence linked to herdsmen. Meanwhile, security operatives have been deployed to the protest scene to prevent and breakdown of law and order. The Grassroots Mobilizers for Better Nigeria initiative has condemned the brutal killing of an Almajiri student in Jigawa State, allegedly at the hands of an imam. The non-governmental organizations which advocate for vulnerable children describe the incident as inhumane and a violation of fundamental human rights. Reports indicate that imam in Gwaram local government area severely flogged the student, leading to his death. Before maltreating, buying the body, GBNI called for urgent government intervention for reform the Almajiri education system and prevent further abuses. He urged authorities to ensure a thorough investigation and swift justice for the victim. Please stay tuned. We are taking a brief commercial break. Don't change the channel. We'll bring you more updates on Sun TV when we return. Welcome back. Coming up next, we have the latest international business and sport news. In international news, the phone conversation between former U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has concluded. In a post on his Trump social platform, Trump described the discussion as very good and noted that it lasted approximately 1 hour. He stated that much of the conversation focused on aligning Ukraine and Russia's respective requests and needs. Following his earlier call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, Trump emphasized the progress in the discussion. He confirmed that Secretary of the State Marco Rubio and National Security Advisor Michael Waltz would provide an accurate account of the key points discussed. Trump added that a further statement would be released during a press briefing by Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Ghanaian investigative journalist Anal Areni-Yao Anas has been awarded $18 million in damage by a U.S. court after a jury found that former Ghanaian MP Kennedy Agyapong had defamed him. The ruling follows remark Agyapong made in a 2021 podcast, in which he accused Anas of criminal activities and linked him to the murder of journalist Ahmed Hussein Swaleh. Anas previously lost a similar case in Ghana, but pursued legal action in New Jersey, where Agyapong owns property and was present during the podcast interview. The Access Country Supervisor Court jury unanimously held Agyapong liable with $8 million of the total damages awarded in response. In response, Anas described the verdict as victory for further and press freedom, vowing to continue his investigative work despite threats and intimidation. Agyapong's legal teams has unsuccessfully argued that the case should not have been heard in the U.S., maintaining his statements amounted to opinion rather than defamation. Meanwhile, Ghanaian police have arrested a suspect in connection with the 2019 killing of Ahmed Hussein Swale. Authorities allege the suspect has shared images of the slain journalist with a prominent politicians before his death. Going to business news now. The Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative has reported that the Federation's Account Allocations Committee disbursed a record of 15.26 trillion naira to federal, state and local governments in 2014, marking a 43% increase from previous years. The NITFAC quarterly review released in Abuja attributed the surge to fiscal reform, including fuel subsidy removal and foreign exchange adjustment, which significantly boosted oil revenue remittances. The federal government received 4.99 trillion naira from 2023. States got 5.81 trillion naira at 62% increase, and local governments were allocated 3.77 trillion naira, up 47%. Lagos, Delta, and Rivers were the top recipients, while Nasarawa, Ebonyi, and Ekiti received the least debt deductions. Total 800 billion naira, with Lagos recording the highest at 164.7 billion naira. NITE's Executive Secretary, Dr. Oji Obanajo Oji, emphasized the need for sustainable revenue growth, job creation, and economic stability amidst physical risks and inflationary pressure. From Sport Decks, Rangers International rescued a hard-fought victory over Kano Pillars in the round of 64 of the 2025 President Federation Cup, avenging last year's defeat. Chidozie Okere's 65th minute goal sealed a 1-0 win in Abuja's Buhari Township Stadium, with head coach Fidelis Ikechukwu away on Super Eagles duty. Chief coach Ike Ekenduli Chukwu led the team, maintaining a strong line-up from their recent NPFL triumph over Kwara United. Rangers dominated the second half, with Okori capitalizing on a defensive error to score Kano Pillars goalkeeper. Abuchi Okeke made key saves to prevent further damage. Coach Ekpejo praised the team's resilience, calling win morals boost for the Federation's Cup and lean campaign. Rangers now prepare for their NPFL match against Nasarawa United on March 21st. That's all for this edition of News at 9 p.m. from Som TV. Before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya continues his tradition of stakeholders' engagement with Ramadan Iftar gathering at the government house. NNPC Limited has dismissed reports of explosions at the Port Harcourt refinery, clarifying that it was a routine flare release. The UNDP and Kaduna state governments have partnered to tackle insecurity and derive development in northwest Nigeria. On the international scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky have concluded a significant phone conversation. In business news, NEITI reports that the FAC disbursed 15.26 trillion naira to to federal, state and local governments in 2024, marking a 43% increase from previous years. From the sport decks, Rangers International secured a hard-fought victory over Kano Pillars in the round of 64 of the 2025 President Federation Cup.